It is the Friday edition, and no. I'm not Michael Jimenez, obviously. Jimenez is way cuter than this ugly mug, and that's why I've always told you I've got the mug for radio or whatever.
Yeah, you got the face for radio.
I've got the face for radio. And I mean, I even come dressed for the occasion. I'm wearing my, Wild Bill's That Silence of the Lambs t-shirt and stuff.
You're going to go.
Yeah, we're putting something in the bucket today. I know that for a fact. It's Rudy Campos Jr. Hey, I'm the host of Sweep the League. I'm filling in for Michael Jimenez here at MJ Acquired Taste podcast. Michael will be back soon. I promise. You've only got to put up with my ugly mug for, what is it, Joe? An hour? Is it an hour on the lunch break edition of MJ Acquired Taste? We got a whole lot to get into. It's going to be, the Hall of Fame. NBA Hall of Fame is this weekend. You've got Parker. You've got Becky. You've got Pop. I mean, you've got Pau, you've got Dwayne. You got a lot of guys going into the Hall of Fame this weekend. That's going to be a treasure in itself for the San Antonio Spurs. Good buddy of ours, Jeff Garcia, always asks me when I talk to him, who's the next player to get in? We're going to have to get into that, Joe. Because somebody said Bruce Bowen. And that felt like a kick in the balls, in my opinion.
You're going to talk Bruce Bowen. You might as well add Avery Johnson in the mix as well.
Neither one really deserved their.
Oh man, you're bad. Bro.
Whatever. Okay, forget that. We've also got your cousin, not my cousin, your cousin, Kawhi Leonard, whose name is not supposed to be mentioned in the studio. But by the way, Two Shot Podcast Studio. We are here, Two Shot Podcast Studio. Kawhi Leonard. I've seen him in Spurs jerseys, Joe. What is that about?
Not here.
No, not here. You took it all down. I remember your wall was full with Kawhi
I
stuff.
had like 2014 championship, pictures and stuff, and Kawhi was there, and every picture that had his face, there was a sticker on it.
You even had his San Diego State jersey. You did. I remember that.
Now Rudy's just talking out of his ass.
I'm talking out of my ass. You know what else is out of the ass here? Cowboy talk. Everybody's overreacting to Dak in training camp. He said, I'm not going to throw 10 interceptions this year.
He's already passed.
He's got 10 in training camp. I mean, we're not gonna give Dak any problems, but top 10 worthy. I argued with a lot of people because I have 1 foot in for top 10. I have 1 foot out for top 10. I'm playing the hokey pokey with the quarterback situation on ranking Dak Prescott. I want to hear all of you guys out there. Drop comments, drop likes, share the YouTube, share the Facebook stream, retweet. Is it Twitter still or is it X?
It's the X, man.
So what do you say?
We still say Twitter, dude. We still say Twitter.
Okay, so retweet, whatever, re-X, X up, whatever. The podcast, again, Rudy Campos filling in for Michael Jimenez, MJ Acquired Taste podcast. Joe, I'm driving in. I haven't been to Marbach in a while. I went from one war zone of San Antonio, drove to another war zone of San Antonio in this area over here, and I started thinking, Poncho raising the flag. Does that make me a bad San Antonio Mexican because I've never been to Poncho? I was a Golden Corral fat guy.
Okay.
And what is the whole deal with Poncho? The raise the flag. Have you been?
Yeah, the Ponchos used to be, of course, it used to be a Marbach staple just around the corner from us. Now it's known as El Bucanero, but before that it was Ponchos. Man, the food was shit. The only reason you really went, dude, is because the sopapillas were to die for, man. With a little bit of honey on there, you run out of your sopapillas, you raise the flag again, give me another round.
I'm not missing anything out there.
Yeah, the food wasn't all that, man. It was forgettable, but it was the nostalgia factor of being able to raise the flag, having some dinner, maybe after church with your family, enjoying some of the sopapillas that they had out there. Yeah. The only other place you can go to Ponchos here in Texas that I know of is there's one Ponchos left, and it's over in Houston, dude.
I was there this past weekend.
You should have pulled up to Ponchos, man.
I couldn't drive. Drive this past weekend. And for those of y'all want to know, on the Sweep the League podcast recently, the reason why I couldn't drive in Houston this weekend was because I was back to my old rated R days with Joe and, drinking up a storm. So I couldn't find a Ponchos to save me. Apparently, no one. They're telling me on the comments here, Tim Gonzalez says that ever since you gave Mike that shot drink live on the air, that we haven't seen Jimenez. So, Joe, I do not want a bottle of water. I do not want to drink. I don't want anything. I can't afford to get sick, man. If that's okay with you, I'm going to pass on all drinks.
Okay.
I don't know, roofies, whatever you're doing. I don't have no idea.
You just got to open the fridge, man.
I'm
I
not
got a
opening
beer
up.
fridge.
I'm
it's
not
full
opening
of
up.
whiskey.
Wait, now you're speaking my language.
Bourbon. I mean, what you want? I got a big old bottle of Rebecca's Creek. We got a bottle of Angel's Envy.
Wow.
I mean, we got it. We got everything you can think of, man.
All right, we're gonna think on that here. People are asking about Mike. Mike will be back very soon, guys. He'll be back very, very soon. Don't worry. You only put up with guest host for a little bit here. I missed the restaurant, the Tex-Mex enchiladas. That's what Tim Gonzalez says. So, I mean, I was a Golden Corral guy. I was a crap food kind of guy back in the day. You know, that's what I was. I'm gonna go one thing. The best Chinese food I've ever had was HEB Chinese Kitchen.
Hey, man, that HEB.
That is the best.
That HEB Chinese food, man.
Yeah.
They used to have the old HEB here on Marbach, man, and that Chinese food was to die for, dude. And they wouldn't skimp on the portion size either, dude. Your fucking plate was overflowing, man.
Yeah,
you couldn't even close the box.
It was.
You could close the box, dude.
I'm not gonna say I was a fat guy because of HEB Chinese Kitchen, but I'm not gonna deny that I was a fat guy because of HEB Chinese Kitchen.
You know what the sad part was is that our fat asses would when you were bigger.
I'm still big.
We would be out there buying groceries, right? Yeah. We already had a basket full of groceries, and we'd pull up to that freaking HEB Chinese food. Hey, man, give me 2 plates. You know,
it was the number 3. It was the 3 meat and the rice and then the egg roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's enough food talk for. I haven't had lunch, and Joe, I need to go get my salad when we're done.
You're not gonna go to a stop off or at Bill Miller's, man. The line was like wrapped around the whole place. They're having 70-cent drinks today, man. And like our friend Rudy J likes to say, he says it's booty juice. That's what he calls the tea over at Bill Miller's. He's not a fan. Yeah. He says it's diabetes. It's too sweet. I'm like, bro, he doesn't know, man. Like Bill Miller's tea is the perfect blend. If you want sweet and you want diabetes in a cup, you go to Bush's Chicken, dude.
Oh yeah,
the straw will just stand straight up, dude.
That is sugar. That is sugar in a cup.
Dude,
that's all sugar.
It's like they pour the whole bag in there, man.
Tim misses Westlake Mall. I miss Westlake Mall,
bro. Westlake Mall.
What are we missing? There was Westlake Mall. There was what was the one on the southeast side?
They had was it? Which one?
There was Westlake. Where City Brook? Well, not where City Brooks is.
McCreeless. Yeah.
What was the one on 35?
I don't remember that one. I think you had McCreeless Walsham.
That was on the Walsham area. Anybody know what the one on
Windsor Park Mall?
Windsor,
like
Windsor Park Mall. Can't forget Central Park Mall. Central Park Mall. Yeah. That was the shiznit. I can't cuss, Joe. You told me
you can cuss, dude. It's a freaking podcast.
We're not on radio, right? We're on podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
So dude. I can say shit and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
Say whatever you want.
Well, speaking of shit, we're gonna get into Kawhi because that was the first thing I told you we're gonna talk about is Kawhi Leonard. I'm only bringing him up because I need to know the difference. I saw him on my Twitter feed, and I haven't been on Twitter a lot lately, but I saw the SOB in a Spurs jersey because they're like, well, what if he came back?
Yeah, we don't want him back, dude.
Nobody wants him back. But I mean, okay, so you know what? He shit on the Spurs. He pissed on the what is now Frost Bank Center. I mean, another guy pissed on a San Antonio icon, Ozzy, and we forgave him. We still go to his
pissed
concert.
On the Alamo, dude.
Well, yeah, so what's more iconic? I mean, the Frost Bank Center or the Alamo? I think the Alamo is. I mean, you got to forgive Kawhi at some point.
But Ozzy said he was sorry.
Kawhi never did.
He never did.
You're
Kawhi
right.
Don't give a damn, dude.
You're right.
He just left, and he's just like.
The only person San Antonio should hate is what, Yolanda? That's about it?
Dude, and she's about to be released from prison, dude. Can you imagine?
How do you release her?
You can't. She can't. There's no way if she gets released on probation, she ain't going to be able to even walk 2 steps out of that place, man, if she's in Texas.
Yeah, no.
She's going to have to get out of here. She's going to have to go to Alaska or something, dude.
But okay, so I'm going to get into this real quick because this is the thing that I've been wondering. I see all this Kawhi shit coming up. And when he plays, can you deny that when he plays, he is arguably one of the best players in the league? And we're saying two-way players. He makes a difference.
Here's the thing with Kawhi, man. It's hit or miss with him nowadays because he just doesn't seem like he's the caliber of player he once was.
Okay.
It seems like nowadays he just cares about, going ahead and sitting on the bench, getting a paycheck, playing when he feels like it, and then also when he plays, it depends on the caliber of talent. Some games he'll have, he'll look great, look like a world beater. And then you have other games where he's just shows like he's not interested.
But if you're going to get him for peanuts, and when I say peanuts, a couple of first round picks, and of course you got to make the contracts work. But if you're not going to give up, if you don't have to give up core pieces to get him, that's where I'm trying to get at. Now, they're not going to go outright and sign him. But if you want a guaranteed playoff appearance, Isn't that a move you make?
With Kawhi, man.
And I mean, it could be for anybody, but I'm just throwing him because he was on my Twitter feed, like I said, all week long for whatever damn reason he was.
Well, here's the thing with him, though, too. You're hearing that what the Clippers rumblings are.
They don't want him.
They want to get rid of the brother.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe he can be had dirt cheap, maybe for a couple picks or something.
Exactly. Now you know what I'm saying.
So if that's the case, you know, and you don't have to give up the house to go ahead and bring him over, maybe give him for, you know, maybe a 1-year rental, you know, and see what happens, kind of see what happens. Yeah. Maybe that's something the Spurs can go ahead and revisit.
I think it'd be a 2-year rental. I think he's got 2 years left.
Yeah, but I think maybe that last year's an option.
It might be an option. So, yeah. Okay, so that's where it all comes in. Because they want to get rid of him for pretty much nothing, because let's be honest, the Clippers haven't been relevant since they were like in San Diego. I mean, that's when they were relevant last. But if you're going to get him for, you know, peanuts, why not take that opportunity?
You know what
I know he's scoring San Antonio. He's pissed off everybody. But at one point you got to forgive the ex-girlfriend for something. I mean, I've forgiven a couple of people recently, and my life's better with it.
Yeah.
So why can't, again, I'm not a Kawhi fan. I love his game. I'll be 100%. I love his game. But why can't you forgive him if you're getting him for peanuts?
Are you going to put him in the starting lineup, or are you coming off the bench?
You have to start him. You mean to tell me a perennial MVP candidate comes off the bench?
Well, if you're trying to push the team now through your new, you know, superstar, which is Wembanyama, and you go ahead and insert Kawhi Leonard alongside of him, how many touches is going to be taken away from Wemby, and how many touches is Kawhi going to need to get his points up? Because he does care about his stats at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, because you go ahead and score a certain amount of points and you get a certain amount of rebounds, assists, and all that. It kind of helps you as far as what you get paid on top of your normal paycheck as far as the bonuses go.
Doesn't it alleviate the pressure for Victor coming in to the NBA from being that guy for at least 1 year?
For at least 1 year, I would say yes, you know, and that might be something that the Spurs could revisit or take a hard look at if the numbers and everything works out, you know. But I think Spurs fans, most of them would welcome Kawhi, and they would go back to their closets where they have their Kawhi jerseys hidden still because they didn't burn them or throw them away, and they would take them out and they would say, "Come home, Kawhi." Me, on the other hand, I'd be like, hell no. I don't want to see his face. I don't want to smell his stinking breath. I don't want to see him on the court. And I don't want to see him wearing a Spurs jersey.
Those dreads look like they smell bad.
I don't know, dude. That dude, man.
I don't know. My thing is, look, you said they would welcome him back, and I think so. I mean, if you're saying you can be relevant right now, Victor Wembanyama makes your team relevant media-wise. He makes you relevant. On the court, we still don't know. Yeah. So you can't say he makes you a playoff team right now.
It makes you a better team. Maybe you get a couple more wins.
It makes you at least, and don't get pissed off. If you're pissed off, be pissed off in the comments and let me know. But for me and for other people, it makes you 10 wins more relevant right now.
So that probably gets 32. You closer into a play-in.
You would need probably another 7 wins for that play-in spot.
So the Spurs, some fans are predicting that the Spurs are going to win at least 40 to 42 games.
Where's that prediction? Because I've seen most 32. I've been on the 32.
Well, you haven't been seeing the real stuff that goes on Spurs Twitter, brother.
No, see, I mean, I do. I try to, but I don't. I really don't play a whole lot.
Well, the Spurs faithful, a lot of them on Spurs Twitter are saying that they predict that the Spurs are probably going to win about maybe 40, 42 games, maybe start flirting with the play-in. Me, on the other hand, I think that they might be good enough for at least maybe 32, 34 wins.
Hold that thought.
You know,
we're gonna grab a quick commercial from the sponsors here. Yeah. Hold that thought, because I want to get into the win column here. Before we do, real quick, hey, Jeff Garcia, our buddy at Locked On Spurs, Jeff Garcia, he's doing 100% NBA Hall of Fame Spurs coverage this week. I did a show with Jeff. We were covering Tony Parker. He asked me, is Tony Parker the greatest point guard in Spurs history? I said, hell yes. Who do you think it is? If anybody out there is possibly talking about a better point guard than Tony Parker, there is no way. He also talked to Dick Mendes. I believe today they released the episode talking about Gregg Popovich and Becky Hammon. It is all Hall of Fame coverage. who better to get Hall of Fame Spurs coverage than the Hall of Famer himself, Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs.
Of course, and not only is he Jeff Garcia, known to everybody worldwide, here to us affectionately here, he's known as Moneybags. See, so the legend of Jeff Garcia has grown.
Now, I've met Jeff in person. I will say this: I felt really, really humbled when he pulled up in his H3 Hummer with the spree roll rims and everything.
But was he driving?
No, he was not driving. And he also had a chauffeur feeding him grapes and wine in the back.
And
so
there you go. He's eating his little grape poupon on a sandwich.
It's proven. It's proven. I seen it.
Hey, look at what we did to the graphic, though, man. We added
the steak. Joe, you know I'm hungry. I haven't eaten lunch.
We put the steak and the golden chalice there, and he's sporting a little gold, not a gold ring, but a diamond ring.
He looks like Scrooge McDuck right there.
He does, dude.
He's gonna kick my ass for saying that. I'm gonna get the text in a minute here.
Yeah,
but I haven't really seen the graphic. Yeah, he looks like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, no, Jeff hates this graphic, dude, but we love it here. So do the fans, man. They love him some Jeff Garcia. So we got to give Jeff some love here. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe again to Locked On Spurs and follow Jeff at Jeff G Spurs Zone on the Twitters or the X, like Elon likes to call it. Yeah,
the Xers.
So let's see what we got cracking over here on the.
We got a lot of stuff on the. Let's see. We got some comments here. We're going to get in comments here. We've got, it says, unfortunately, SA is not a place people want to play. And that's from Echo. Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Echo says, kind of like Milwaukee, nobody lines up to play with Giannis. Yeah, that's true. Giannis is a one-of-a-kind guy. I see 41 to 42 wins. We're going to get into that, David. Give me a little bit of time here. We're going to get into the win column here, see why and how many wins we're predicting. Puro pinche sports. If we can be in the play-in and DeJounte Murray as the main guy, I believe with a healthy unit, we can make it to the play-in tournament with Wemby in his first year. Confidence is oozing on Spurs Twitter and Spurs fans everywhere. Street name is Moneybags, and you got to put the Z at the end.
Yeah, put the Z.
The Z. It doesn't have the same ring unless you have the Z at the end.
Oh, and shout out to our boy, man, Bear County Social Apparel, because just wanted to let you know we did get those shirts in the mail.
I did see it.
And we're waiting to go ahead and have Jimenez go ahead and come back here. And when we do an episode, we're going to be sporting the money bag shirts.
I did see that. I have seen the shirt behind the scene.
They're looking pretty fly, right? They look nice.
They are looking fly. And I think shout out to Bear County because I think I'm going to go ahead and grab one of those too. I definitely need to get one because when I see Jeff next, I'm going to have him autograph it in a gold pin.
Yeah, with the gold pin.
Gold pin. I'm going to do something
Serve it to him on a silver platter, dude. Just like he gets his steak.
The one with you pick up the lid?
Exactly, dude.
Should I have the little ocular or whatever it is?
That's the next thing that's coming. We're going to give him that little...
Really?
That little Oculus. You're
going to make him like the Monopoly guy.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Wow.
He's getting closer and closer, looking like the graphic on the shirt.
Jeff, this is all you, Jeff. I'm going to leave you alone for right now. But, getting into the Spurs talk again, Joe, you were talking about wins. So we're going to say, for all instance purposes, Spurs Twitter has Spurs at 41, 42 wins. I guess that's kind of like what we're saying. I say 32 because I think Victor's worth 10. Now, can I go higher? Yes, I can go. I've gone him as high as 38, 39, which would technically put him in the play-in game. Now, what is your ceiling for the Spurs? Because the reason why I have him at 38, 39, I'm talking healthy Devin. The team stays healthy in general. And this is the team as is, even though I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be the same team come trade deadline.
Yeah.
They're going to make some moves before that. Whether it's for the best or for the worst, I have no idea. But 32 low, 38, 39 high for me. What is your low point for the Spurs? What is your high point for the Spurs? We're going to take Spurs Twitter at 41, 45.
Okay, my prediction here is that the Spurs, I think, are going to be more around the lines of 32 to 34 wins is what I'm predicting.
Okay.
And that's with Wemby and all that. I see the team, improving. Yes, I think they're going to be a lot more competitive than they were in last season. But I still think that there's going to be some growing pains, having to adjust to playing with the new player in Victor Wembanyama, having to adjust to their new roles, especially the starting five. Are you going to have Keldon be inserted in the starting lineup? Is he going to come off the bench? what's going to happen with Devin Vassell. I'm looking for him to have a better season, maybe a breakout season, because he wasn't even in conversation for the top 25 shooting guards in the NBA per the latest, poll that came out in the standings there. And I think it's probably going to make him feel a certain way. I think he's a really good player. I think he's arguably one of the best players that the Spurs have currently, even with Victor Wembanyama. I think he's the most well-rounded player that the Spurs have currently on the roster. So I'm looking for him to stay healthy, have a breakout season, and be in the conversation, with a lot of the talking heads in the national media taking notice of the greatness that is Devin Vassell. Mm-hmm. So with that said, you're going to have Jeremy Sohan being able to go ahead and be more of a, show more of his defensive prowess on the court, because he's not going to have to score so many points. He's not going to have to be called on to put up 10 points a night. He's going to be able to do what he does best, and that's just be an annoying person out there on the court, just being that flea, that, mosca that just goes and bothers everybody. And that's what he needs to do. He needs to get under the opposing, player's skin, so to speak, get him out of their game. And I think that's what he can do. So, yeah, and with all that said and done, even with the second unit and whatnot, 32-34 wins to me is very respectable.
So we got Popovich Sports in here. Basically, the sum of the comment was, what team doesn't make it? If they need one team to fall off to make it. I mean, I'll go real quick through the Western Conference here. I mean, Denver's obviously number one. We're not going to take Denver out. Memphis, they play better without John Morant. I still think they have enough to stay in the playoffs there. Sacramento's going to be there. Obviously, Phoenix, I'll get into them in a minute. They're going to be there. But
yeah, you think Memphis is still going to be there even with Jaw's suspension?
They're not going to be two.
Yeah.
But they're still going to probably be in the playoff, maybe more than likely play-in type team there. The Clippers are the one that I'm looking at that might fall from grace into the play-in spot, maybe further, depending on how many games Cousin wants to play and if they even keep Paul George. Golden State Warriors. That is the dumpster fire right now in the Western Conference. Lakers, again, you've got LeBron, you've got AD. They're gonna make the play-in at least. Minnesota is that one team I see falling from grace. Oklahoma City takes the step up. I think they've got a great team right there. The Pelicans.
Oh man, dude.
Now the Pelicans, you're gonna kick my ass, Joe. But when it comes to South, the division, I kind of have the Pelicans up there in the division.
They're an enigma, man, because you look at them as a team and what they have talent-wise, it's not too bad, dude. On paper, it's a hell of a team, Yeah. But the enigma that kind of holds them back there, it's always the drama that's going on with Zion, dude.
Yeah.
And you don't know which Zion you're going to get. You're going to get the one that looks like he's lost 20, 15 pounds, or you're going to get the one that comes in fat, out of shape, been eating hot wings all summer.
Banging 10 girls at a time.
Yeah, and man, he just can't seem to keep himself out of trouble, you know?
So whether Zion is healthy or not, I know recently talking to Jeff, I actually had New Orleans as the favorite to win the division. I think that team is ready to take that far a step up. All the drama aside, I've got New Orleans up there. The teams that I see falling from grace, Minnesota coming out. The Clippers, again, I think the trade deadline stuff might affect them. They might be coming down. Phoenix doesn't have a point guard. Everybody says Bradley Beal's a point guard. When was the last time Bradley Beal played point guard? The guy's never played point guard in his life, period.
Who's going to run their offense? Book?
Nobody.
Come on, man.
Bring Kevin Johnson, whoever. I don't care. Bring anybody back. There's nobody that can run that damn offense.
Yeah.
Golden State. Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. That sounds scary. But when your tallest player is 6'9", who the hell is going to rebound for you there? When you have the likes of going up of Jokic. I mean, you've got the likes of, Sabonis there. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are going to be way better rebounds. Way better rebounds.
Look, we got a comment here by Tim Gonzalez. He
says, what do we got?
Joe Garcia, you said they win 32 to 34 games this season, but what happens if they make the moves in the trade deadline to chase the play-in? Here's the thing with that, man. They got to have the cap space, and they also got to move some pieces in order to go ahead and make some viable trades to get some talent. Now, you look at what they have currently, and yeah, they have a great, starting five, a young starting five, and they need some seasoning, man. Let's be honest, But when you look at the plethora of talent that you have currently with this current Spurs roster, you're going to tell me that the Spurs, as currently constructed, are going to be able to go ahead and flirt with the play-in tourney? That's why I put them at 32 to 34 wins. Even if
Yeah.
they do, let's say, make some trades, what do you think they're going to be trading for? They're not going to be trading for marquee level players. They're going to be trading more for veterans.
Yeah.
What can a veteran do? Because they have to make the numbers work as far as the money, the cap space, and also they don't want to go ahead and trade away their futures by giving away picks that they've already acquired.
2026.
Yeah.
That's the draft you want to keep your eye on for the Spurs. Now, 2025 could be good, but 2026, Cooper Flag, you got the Boozer brother coming out. I mean, you've got guys coming in 2026 where if you've got top picks there, you're giddy.
Yeah.
You're super giddy. And that's where I'm looking at. So you're right. They have assets to trade. They've got tons to trade.
Yeah.
If they're flirting with that play-in, okay, so let me go back. Who was the guy? Tim, right? Tim's the one that asked. Okay,
Tim
so
Gonzalez. Good comment, by the way,
Tim.
man.
Love the comment, Tim. Thank you. Everybody, just keep commenting. But Tim, let me ask you this and put it in the chat here. What do you consider flirting with that play-in spot? Because if you're right there at 11, but you know you're not going to go past the play-in, do you just say fuck it and take the L for the year?
Look what happened with DeJounte.
How far do you have to be in the play-in to say we're going to make a move now?
Yeah, but look at what happened with the Spurs team, as they were constructed with DeJounte, kind of being the man.
Yeah.
DeJounte was the man. They went into the play-in tourney, right?
Yeah.
And they showed that they had no business being there. They got trounced by the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Handedly.
Yeah.
They had no business there. And then DeJounte leaves the next season.
Yeah.
So if the Spurs make the play-in tourney, fans are going to legitimately tell me that this team has what it takes to go ahead and move forward in the tourney, depending on who their opponent would be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so by Spurs fans, metrics, do you want to be mediocre for a few years, or do you want to continue this rebuild?
But let me ask you a serious question.
We hardly ever get serious.
What's next? What's the next draft looking like
for next year? As of right now, not great.
Not great. So it means you have to have a high pick in order to really, say, okay, well, maybe we can work with this. The other ones are going to be like always, kind of like a gamble.
You're going to need, from what I've seen coming out of the draft for next year, I mean, you've got some players, you've got a couple, an international guy, a couple of them that are going to be coming out. For me right now, I need Viagra to get the boner for next year's draft. Is what I need.
Chubby.
Yeah. To get help, I need that to get ready for next year's draft. Now, 2025, I'm getting a little fuzzy feeling down there.
You're getting a little tingle.
Yeah, as long as the CBA isn't changed and we allow high schoolers to come out straight to the NBA, then we got to wait for 2026 when you are just full penetration.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you've got Cooper Flag. You've got, I'm more thinking Visick is going to probably be in 2026. He may come out sooner. But then you got Boozer. You've got a lot of good guys coming out in 2026. So that's where, you're this next year is that you need Viagra this next year to get going.
Yeah, maybe this next year, if there's not really that top level talent up there and maybe the top five, top six, if you're not going to get a pick in top five at least, maybe that Spurs, as we always say, maybe you consider trading that pick and moving down into the second round and getting some more bang for your buck, so to speak.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's something that I think they could have done this year had they not gotten the first pick in the draft. Welcome, Chris Leha. Hey, I see him a lot on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy on Twitter.
He gets everywhere, man. Chris Leha, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, great guy, Chris. Thank you for joining us here. Again, Rudy Campos filling in for Michael Jimenez, MJ Acquired Taste podcast. Mike will be back soon. Apparently, Joe gave him a drink, and he hasn't been back since. We're not drinking anything on the show. That is a guarantee. Man, we're about to hit halftime, and all we've talked about is Spurs. We still got to get Hall of Fame. We still got to get to some Cowboy talk, baseball talk. This whole second part of the hour is going to be flying by. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Can we get off the Spurs talk, or do you want to continue?
No, we can go ahead and move away from the Spurs talk.
Are you getting scared because now they're asking about playing game?
No, we can talk. They want to talk about the play, and they can talk, man. But I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real. Expectations for me are just looking for the team to be a little bit more competitive than they were last season. Of course, with one Victor Wembanyama, you would expect that. But is it necessarily going to translate into wins? That's the biggest question mark that you have if you're a Spurs fan for the upcoming season. I got Spurs season tickets. I'm going to be at the games. I'm excited to see Wemby play. It's not like I hate my team.
So
I love the Spurs, man.
The excitement going in, and this is before we go to commercial break, this is the excitement going into the season. Be excited for what the future holds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be excited for what can happen this season.
I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I don't even really have expectations for the team. I just want to go and see, them play. I want to see how exciting they're going to be.
Yeah.
With Victor Wembanyama out there on the court, and seeing what the younger cast can do around him.
Do they make his bobblehead like big time huge?
They should, man. You know what? It should be one of those Funko Pops. You know how you get the big box? That's what they need to do with Victor, man.
All right, we are here at the MJ Acquired Taste podcast. The takeover, Sweep the League, is taking over just for today. I've got Candace Rock and Stats here with me. They're just not on camera. We have cardboard cutouts of them. Joe Garcia making everything go. Michael Jimenez will be back. Got a little commercial break coming up here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit of Hall of Fame, a little bit of Cowboys, a little bit of MLB, and then maybe some more Spurs, because I keep getting a lot of the Spurs comments.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some Astros talk, man. I know how much y'all love your Astros.
Joy.
Yeah, so first we're going to go ahead and hear a few words from our sponsor here, MCS General Contracting.
MCS General Contracting. More than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They're the number right there, 210-774-9155.
I guess it's done.
MCS General Contracting. Again, let me give you that number again, 210-774-9155. Contact them, MCS General
Parking
Contracting.
lot.
There you go, Mike's back.
Concrete placement services, sidewalks, things like that. Reach out to MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. That's 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills. Chris Leha confident in his fantasy football prowess, if you will. Thank you for being a sponsor of our show. He does a fantastic job over there.
Yeah, so shout out to you, TMCS General Contracting. You all do a great job over there, and hopefully when Mike gets back, can go out there and do an indoor pour with you guys. So make sure you go in and check out MCS General Contracting. Their number again is 210-774-9155.
And and the thing is, I'm remodeling my childhood home, Joe. Like, I literally am fucking Tom Hanks and Shelley Long here with the money pit. It's not one problem after another. So I might have to actually hit up MCS here when we're done.
You know what? You need to go ahead and hit up MCS so they can do a pour around the perimeter, so you can have like a reinforced fence with barbed wire and everything to keep all the bums out, dude, from the back.
I need that. You know what? With the money pit that I have right now in my old house, I just need him to pour an entire fucking block of cement across the whole thing, and let me just start from the beginning or something like that.
Dude, the homeless, you got the bums in the back, the vagrants are always fighting.
That's an entire show in itself that we could go off.
Man, if we could see the live feed from your ring, camera that you have in the backyard.
Oh God. It's bad. And actually, what was it, a week ago? That whole ATM robbery where the truck that was in my backyard.
The ATM machine. It would have been funny if it was in your backyard.
It was in my backyard, right next to the Roy Moss Center. It was right there. I'm like, holy cow. All right. Well, enough about getting robbed, because people that didn't get robbed were those that were selected for the NBA Hall of Fame. And well-deserving Popovich, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Becky Hammon. Looking forward to Gene Katie going in, on the Purdue sidelines for many years. And what kind of the sentimental part for the Hall of Fame wasn't the Spurs going in for me, Joe. I know it was for you, and I love my Spurs, but seeing Jim Valvano as part of the 2023 class, knowing that 5 years ago to tomorrow's date, my dad passed from cancer, Valvano passed from cancer. You have the Jimmy V Foundation.
Yeah.
You've got all that going on. So I'm a huge supporter of the Jim Valvano, Jimmy V Foundation. I do make donations to that and everything because of what my dad went through. But seeing him go in, this is a very special year for the Spurs fans. Joe, I want you to talk about Spurs fans, because how is it for Spurs fans going in? It just seems like everybody is so excited to this class, and I am excited too. Not only that, you have Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki going in.
Yeah, man. And former Spur Pau Gasol. He's going to be enshrined as well.
Yeah, Pau Gasol as well.
So that's you can still claim him. Spurs fans can still claim him. So you got Coach Pop, you have Tony Parker, You have Becky Hammon.
Yeah.
And you have former Spur Pau Gasol. That's 4 right there.
Yeah.
If you're a Spurs fan, why won't you claim Pau Gasol? Like, why do Spurs fans hate him so much? Like,
Who
why does
hates him?
I've seen a lot of flack, you know,
Who
a
hates
lot of
Pau
Spurs
Gasol?
fans give him some shit because they don't want to claim him. They're like, well, he only played a few seasons. I'm like, he was still a Spurs player, and he
Yeah.
still helped us. He took us into some deep playoff runs too.
Yeah, he did.
You know, so it's like I give him his roses, man. He might not have been the same player that he was with the Lakers when he came to San Antonio, but he was still an instrumental part in the playoff runs, you know? And
Yeah.
I give him his roses, dude, and I'm glad that he's getting enshrined. I think he deserves it.
He deserves it, but not only for his NBA accomplishments, but I mean, he's one of the best international players. So
He is, man.
I mean, why do people forget that, Joe? Why do people automatically assume because this guy had the absolute worst NBA career that he doesn't deserve Hall of Fame nod because he was from overseas? Last time I checked, it was Basketball Hall of Fame. It wasn't the NBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Basketball
Hall of Fame. That's why you're going to see guys like Oscar Schmidt from overseas, Andrew Gaze, former Spur, Andrew Gaze, Hall of Famer. I mean,
you know what? David Outwater brought up a good point, dude. Spurs fans don't like him so much because he was a Laker.
Well, okay. But okay, so that's a decent point. Spurs fans don't like Lakers, even though when the Lakers play in San Antonio, 95% is yellow and gold or gold and purple.
T-shirt. Those are the T-shirt.
But
and
it doesn't
jersey
matter.
fans,
It doesn't matter. It does fill.
You know what was funny? When I went to a Spurs game last season when the Lakers came a-calling, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these fans that I saw sporting LeBron James and Space Jam jerseys, and they had their cars all decked out with Laker flags and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I went to another game. Those same fans showed up in Spurs jerseys. You know what? And those Laker fans, they were excited to go ahead and get the free Spurs T-shirt that they were throwing out at the arena.
Yeah.
And because they're going to use it the next game because they're going to wear it. You know, because the same fans that are rooting for the Lakers, they're Spurs fans. So stop it. Stop.
So I'm assuming that all Spurs fans hate Lonnie Walker. They hate Lonnie Walker. I mean, if you're going to go the same route, you're going to have to say you hate Lonnie Walker because now, I mean, he's a Laker. I mean, he played for the Lakers, so we're going to go that same route then. But Pau is one of the nicest guys you could ever meet.
He is, man.
So I guess you can say the Laker hatred is there, you know, all that. I would say hate Derek Fisher more than Pau Gasol.
Everybody hates Derek Fisher, the 0.3. Who can forget her? 0.4, man.
0.4.
But you know what? It should have been 0.3. The clock, whoever was controlling the clock at the AT&T Center at the time, they were late.
Robert Horry.
That last 0.1 or whatever, it could have turned things into a different direction.
Who was running the fucking clock that night?
A fucking Laker fan, bro. That's who it was. Yeah, it was a Laker fan. Had to be. How do you not know to push the button? You know, like, come on, man.
So Robert Horry, another person. Big Shot Bob.
Hey, man, he says a lot of questionable stuff, man. But if it wasn't for Robert Horry hitting that big shot against the Detroit Pistons, well, we have been, you know, privy to seeing the Spurs hoisting up another championship trophy.
We can't go down what ifs because
I'm just saying he was an instrumental part, though.
No,
he was that big shot. Those big shots, man.
Yeah, but I'll say we can't go down the what if hole because that rabbit hole is, well, what if Manu didn't foul Dirk? What if Rod Strickland actually made a correct pass?
What if Zaza didn't stick his foot out under Nephew?
What if Zaza? I mean, nephew would have probably still been here.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so many what ifs, but you know, Robert Horry is another way. I mean, you know what? This is the thing with Robert Horry. If you hate Pau Gasol but you don't hate Robert Horry, what the fuck does that make you? The guy was a rocket. You know, he was an I-10, you know, rival right there. Then he goes to LA. And then he comes to San Antonio. So, I mean, you've got to have, I think you'd have more hatred for Robert Horry, who doesn't consider Tim Duncan, one of the best of all time or whatever you said. You know, all these guys are weird, man. When they
look at Jeff.
That shit.
Jeff's giving us a play-by-play. He says, by the way, I'm at the Hall of Fame press conference right now.
He's about ready to get his Hall of Fame jacket. He's going to have a bus made. And you know what? That bus is going to have.
He's going to have him deliver it to his room.
Oh, he's gonna. Okay.
They bring it to him. No,
Yeah.
no. I don't like to be handed things. Deliver it to my room, my liege.
Could you place it on the table with a white glove? Please?
Yeah, don't touch it with your hands, your bare hands.
Chris Leha. Yeah, I think Jeff has a golden chair. He's got to have the golden chair.
He does probably. He probably does have a golden chair.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, come on. He's gonna be going to the Basketball Hall of Fame. You know he's going over there with some coin, dude. He's gonna go drop some money on something.
I recently told Jeff that he is the next Spur to go in the Hall of Fame, and if he has a writer, I told him that.
Right?
Yeah, and he's having steak at the press conference. Yeah.
You know what? I bet you he has a money clip, a gold one with that, dude.
Can we get that? Can we prove that, Jeff? You're listening, Jeff. Can you prove that to us? Take a picture, tweet it to all of us here. You can tag myself, MJ Acquired Taste, Two Shots Podcast. Again, Rudy Campos filling in for Michael Jimenez here. You only have to put up with my ass for another like 18 minutes or so. But we're talking a whole lot of Spurs here.
Let's go ahead and talk about some of this Hall of Fame stuff too, because you know what?
Go for it.
We're
Let's go.
talking about it. I'm looking here on Twitter, dude, and they have some nice pictures that they've been showing.
We got to keep it clean, Joe.
Oh,
I've been clean up this whole time.
No, man, we're not doing the rated R
I've
stuff
tried.
back in the day.
I'm surprised Jimenez let me come here right now thinking he's probably sweating bullets, man. Thinking this guy's gonna go off the rails.
Yeah, look at that, man. What a picture.
Yeah,
Dirk. You got Tony Parker, you got Dirk, you got D Wade, and Pau Gasol.
How many titles does that team win right there?
Dude, that's some royalty right there, man.
How many you could put, Oliver Miller on that team, and they're probably gonna
Oliver Miller.
They're gonna probably be, winning at least 50 games, 60 games maybe in that team right there.
Yeah, but that's a hell of a picture, man. There's some greats right there.
That's a good squad.
That is a good squad,
holy
dude.
Cow.
And then you have some like behind the scenes stuff too that I saw earlier day that was popping up on Twitter of Tony Parker, man.
What was Tony doing? Please let it be clean. Please let it be clean.
Dude.
All right, just making sure.
Clean, man. They're just posting some
video. He's
video.
not rapping. That's all we don't need. We don't need
Let's
rap
see what
song.
he's doing. Let's see if we can hear him, man.
Let's see what we got.
I think I got too many windows open there.
It's the best class ever.
Oh, he's signing autographs.
But Nana is like a hell of a class, and I'm so happy to go in with Dirk and Pau. I've been playing against them since I'm like a little kid, and D Wade. We play against each other in the finals, and then going with Pop. I think it's the first time ever. They told me it was the first time ever that a coach and a player going the same year. And Becky Hammon, very close to Becky Hammon. People don't know that, but she's like my big sister. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to go in with everybody.
So there you go, Tony Parker just saying it's, kind of an honor to be included in that Hall of Fame class. And how about that? What he just said is the first time that a coach and a player are going to be put in that we're on the same team.
Now, can we go one step further and say a coach, player, and an assistant coach in the same class?
Assistant coach, Becky Hammon.
That's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool there. Now, those four guys with Pop as a coach, does that add more titles to that roster?
Man,
that's crazy.
It does.
That's Red Auerbach stuff right there.
Yeah, man. Coach Pop, man, he's the GOAT, dude. He's gonna go down as as if not the greatest coach. He's in the talking of one of the greatest coaches in NBA history.
Would you be opposed to me saying that behind Pop is Eric Spoelstra?
Hey, man, Spose.
You know what?
He's a hell of a coach, man.
He's better. And, I don't give a damn about Steve Kerr's rings as a coach. They're bought. I don't give a shit about those. But Spoelstra is way better than Steve Kerr as a coach.
He is really good. If you've ever seen what he does, his adjustments, man, the dude is great at that, man. Making adjustments on the fly.
He's good.
Getting his team to win.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of a coach, dude. I think he's going to have a legacy that could probably mirror what Coach Pop is doing when it's all said and done if he stays in the league long enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're taking a Miami Heat squad that I can't really say left for dead. They had some players, but, I mean, that Miami Heat squad from this past season, I mean, it just shows the kind of coach that he is. He's a hell of a coach. So shout out to Spoelstra out there. Yeah.
Hey, man, if the Miami Heat ever let Spose go, the Spurs should pick him up in a heartbeat, dude.
I'll drive my little Honda to go get him. I don't give a damn. I'll pick him up from the airport, do whatever. We'll have money back, send a limo to go pick him up from the airport.
Jeff will send his private plane, dude.
Oh, yeah. We need Jeff to send a private plane.
Yeah.
I asked Jeff for to borrow his private plane, and I got the middle finger.
You
That's
know what we
pretty
need to
bad.
do? We need to put Jeff's face on like Richie Rich from back in the day. Remember that?
I remember that. Hey, David is saying that Miami has a culture like the Spurs. 100% on that. 100%. And that's the thing. And you know what? Chris is obviously on the same page with me. You know, Spoelstra is better than Kerr. I've been saying that for a long time. Kerr, I'm going to say, talking to, you know, a couple of NBA players that I know and I talk to, and we all agree, and I'm telling the same thing I'll tell you guys. Spoelstra is the second best coach in the league. I don't give a shit how many titles Steve Kerr has as a coach. Doesn't make anything. He cannot coach for shit. He was given that team, and you know what? He righted the ship, and that's all it was. Nothing else to that. But for me, Spoelstra is the better coach of the two. He's the second best coach in the league. We got another commercial to get to, Joe, before we go on here.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and,
All right,
and
we'll do
go
this.
with our girl over here, Cynthia J. Sanchez of J. Par Realty.
Just gotta show some love to Cynthia J. Sanchez. She is of J. Par Real Estate. Proud sponsor from day one of the Acquired Taste podcast, the Acquired Taste Network. Her phone number is there, 210-273-0748. Go to Realtor.com. Check out her reviews, because all the people that she sells homes to give her 5 stars. That she is prompt, that she's understanding, that she communicates well, that she calls back, that she answers questions correctly, that she is smart at what she does. And we're talking about real estate. That is buying a home, selling a home, whether it be a rental property, primary residence, whether it be an Airbnb, that type of property. You can reach out to Cynthia J. Sanchez from J. Par Real Estate, 210-273-0748. We're talking about 16 years of experience in real estate. She's a badass at what she does, and she is my personal real estate agent. My last house.
Yeah. So there you go. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
Cynthia
shout out
J.
to Cynthia
Sanchez.
Sanchez. I'm gonna have to use her, Joe. If I can't get this damn house fixed, I'm gonna have to use her to get another house.
Yeah, man, you gotta move out of that war zone, man.
Well, yeah, I gotta move out of that war zone. I mean, I'm better off living in the dumpster in HEB or Mercado right now than where I'm at right now. That house is giving me a lot of problems. So
Damn.
definitely bad. I'll hit up Cynthia soon here. Be sure she's a sponsor of MJ Acquired Taste podcast.
Hey,
Shout
let's
out-
get in some talk here too. Let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about the schedules that were released as well. You know, we
Well-
haven't really talked about that much.
Before you bring up the schedule real quick, shout out to the Fantasy Gods on Sundays, right?
Yeah, Fantasy
shout out
Gods
to
Sundays,
Fantasy
man.
Gods.
11 o'clock.
Jimenez hates me when it comes to fantasy football. The only league I ever played with Jimenez in, he got last. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Oh,
Brandon
really?
Medina can attest to that. So I'm gonna just say, you know, Fantasy Gods, great guys. Listen to that podcast as well. I consider myself a fantasy immortal, but we're not gonna get into that, Joe. What's the schedule like?
Okay, so we're gonna go with Cham Sharnaya, man. He went ahead and posted this on the X Twitter. That's what we call it. Christmas Day games for 23-24 season, and his sources say over at the Athletic that the Bucks and Knicks are up on, you know, to play a Christmas game. 76ers Heat, Celtics Lakers, Mavericks Suns, Warriors Nuggets, and too much to the dismay of Spurs fans.
Who cares?
We're not going to be seeing Wemby on Christmas Day.
Who cares? It didn't bother me at all. I mean, how do you feel about that? To me, it doesn't bother me because I think players would rather be with their families on Christmas than actually playing the damn game.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, I know I'm going to be flying on a plane somewhere. You know, I'm going to be here on Christmas Day with the family. Yeah, man. But the next day we're out, dude. We're flying over to Disney World. We're going to be spending the whole week over there. We're going to bring in the new year at Disney World. So,
Christmas and New Year's at Disney?
Well, Christmas, I'm going to be here. We're going to fly at 26.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're flying out on the 26th. So I'll be watching some games on the plane.
Did I not get the DM? I thought I would have.
Oh, it was my wife that surprised me, man.
Oh, okay.
You can imagine my surprise when she's like, "Oh, and by the way, we also used your card to make the reservations."
Oh, there it is. There it is. Honey,
they try to see, you know,
it's
ease it in.
Family vacation.
Yeah, they try to ease it in at dinner, you know. Hey, we're gonna feed you, but by the way, this is what happened.
Be sure she uses Vaseline next time she's sliding that thing in because it hurts. I know that for a fact because my wife does the same thing.
I'm like, you did what?
Hey, what?
You did what?
You'll get the bill in a month, man. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Well, congrats, man. Trip to Disney World. Wow, man. All I gotta say is get a scooter, dude. Because I don't care how in shape you are, that walking will kick your ass.
Dude, I'm a big boy, but I can do the walking, man. I have nice, you know, walking shoes.
Yeah.
The trick is no matter how tired you are and how much your legs hurt and your feet hurt, Don't sit down, dude. If you sit down, that's a kiss of death, dude. You might as well just hang it up because as soon as you sit down and your legs start to cool off,
Yeah.
you're gonna get cramps on your hamstrings in the back of your calves from hell, dude.
You get cramps in places you had no idea you had,
It's
right?
like, don't sit down, man. Drink plenty of water and just keep moving, dude. If you sit down, you just might as well just go home, man. Get on the bus,
Oh,
get on the little trolley or whatever.
Man.
But yeah, we have another schedule here too, showing that
Let's go.
ESPN is going to have the schedule release date for the tourney. They're making a big deal about this in-season tourney.
That's so stupid.
So it's on Tuesday, August the 15th. They're going to release the tourney schedule first. They're really pushing for this. And it's going to be on NBA Today at 3 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN.
Yeah.
And then later on in the week, they're going to release the full NBA season schedule. They don't even tell you the date for that because it's an afterthought because they're pushing the in-season tourney. The in-season tourney to me is just a money grab.
That's all
That's all it is, dude. I mean, what is it? It makes no sense. Like, what are you playing for? If you win, what do you win?
nothing.
Is it going to help you in the seedings? Or, I mean, you're going to get home court advantage?
The games count towards the season total, from what I'm not mistaken. They count towards the season total. So you've got to actually play hard to win. But, I mean, in-season tourney is so stupid. I don't get that at all.
It's a waste of money, dude. They're just doing it to make a money grab for sponsors and sell the TV slots or what have you. It's dumb, man, but whatever. I guess they got to go ahead and recoup some type of revenue.
Yeah, well, why doesn't Adam Silver just make Mac and Me too?
Oh, Lord, dude.
I mean,
they shouldn't even have made the first one.
He wasn't the first one. He was a little alien guy. It looks just like Mac and Me.
Dude, man.
Mac or whatever.
The only funny part about that was that one meme they keep showing where the kid fell off the cliff.
The cliff with the wheelchair.
Yeah, that's the only part of that movie that was funny.
We're going to get in trouble for making fun of that.
I'm just saying it was a funny part, man.
So bad. I've been fired already. I got 7 minutes left. I'm going to be fired on this shit.
Hey, man. So let's go ahead and get in some talk here, man.
We got to get into 2 things here. We got 7 minutes. We got quick here.
Yeah.
First quick. Yay or nay, Dak Prescott, top 10 quarterback. I want you to piss off Cowboy fans.
Dak Prescott, to me, is just a mediocre quarterback, man. He hasn't proven to me that he can do anything other than just throw a whole bunch of interceptions, win some games during the regular season. But when it counts the most, when your team needs you the most to show up and be that leader, and you're either going to be in the wild card or you're in the playoff race, shit's the bed. Every single time, dude.
I have to admit, when we're talking top 10, I'm not talking elite. I'm not talking, perfection, any of that shit. But right now, Dak is definitely 9 or 10 for me. I have my right foot in. I have my left foot out. I'm playing the hokey pokey. I'm going to shake it all about.
The last, let's say, standings that I saw from the NFL, national standings, from the media and whatnot, Dak was top 10. He was in the top 10. He was at the 10th spot as far as top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, there's like 5 guys that I have on the verge of top 10, and it's like the playing game. You're right there.
Bro, Kirk Cousins was higher than Dak Prescott.
I have Kirk higher.
I think he was at 8, if I remember correctly.
Based off of how this season starts, I could rate Jared Goff higher than Dak Prescott.
Would you take Kirk Cousins if you were going to go ahead and pick a QB for your fantasy league?
For fantasy, I would be late. Late pick for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, just because he has the Justin Jefferson effect. Now he's got Jordan Addison. Yeah, I think I would take him late. He wouldn't be like my first option at quarterback.
Yeah, he'd be what's left over.
Yeah, he's a late draft kind of guy. Definitely. So Dak Prescott, no for Joe. Yes for me as of right now in the top 10, 9 or 10. We've got 5 minutes. Hey, baseball. We're doing the rapid fire here this last couple of minutes. Astros are still in. Texas. I told you when I walked in. Is this 1992? I mean, we've got Baltimore. We've got Minnesota.
Here are the latest standings, dude.
Toronto, Texas. I mean, is Julio Franco and Pudge Rodriguez playing for the Rangers right now?
Man, Pudge, man. I miss me some Pudge, dude.
Cal Ripken, is he an Oreo again? Like, I woke up thinking, holy shit, I'm freaking like 10 again.
You want to talk about Twilight Zone, man. I was telling you before we even started the show. Look at the NL wildcard teams, man. Philadelphia. San Francisco, are you kidding me? The San Francisco Giants.
Keep the Giants out of your mouth, man. Come on.
I'm just like, come on. This is your team.
It is my team, and they're supposed to be shit.
I'm just like, San Francisco, I'm like, they've been shit for years, And then all of a sudden now they turned things around this season. They've had a great season. And they're in the wild card race, man. They're only 2 games back of Philadelphia.
Now, the Phillies I see there, the one, I'm telling you, Joe, it's like 90s again. The Braves are number one. We're talking Tom Glavine and Sid Bream and Ron Gant,
Smoltz.
Terry Pendleton, Smoltz, Bobby Cox is the coach. I'm like, I woke up thinking, let me check these damn standings. Holy shit, I'm back in the 90s.
In the AL wildcard teams, of course, you got to go ahead and talk about Tampa Bay, the Stros, the Houston Astros, and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Houston Astros, they had an opportunity, man, yesterday at 11 o'clock, early game, right?
Yeah.
To go ahead and get a much-needed win against the Baltimore Orioles, who are at the top of their division, by the way. If you look right here, they're leading the AL division.
Yeah.
They lost 5-4, dude. And, I mean, it is what it is. And right now, Houston's sitting at 66 wins. And you have the Toronto Blue Jays nipping at your heels, and you're falling further and further back. You're 3 games behind Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah.
What do you think the Stros are going to do? You think they're going to finish strong like a lot of their fans say, and they're going to go ahead and win in order to get into that wild card race, or you think they're going to fall off?
No. The Stros are going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the wild card. The Stros will still be in it, and that's where the Stros get, they get very deadly. They get in the postseason. Now, postseason Astros is the team to beat. They're set, and I actually like their team. They're kind of backing their way into the playoffs, into the wild card spot, but they're getting there. They're going to get there. Teams like the Orioles, teams like, maybe even Minnesota, a lot of these teams, I'm still not sold on them. I mean, they're having great seasons for a reason, but I'm still not quite sold on them.
Coach Gio, he's still going for his Mariners.
He's a Mariners fan. We know he's a Mariners fan.
Hey, but the Mariners right now, Gio, they're on the outside looking in.
Could they get in? They could.
They could. But they're going to need some help.
They could.
And look at that. They said, Tim Gonzalez, 24 or 23 days left until college football season starts.
So quick synopsis here on college football. Now, next year for NFL draft, for all you college guys out there, you're going to have a shitload of quarterbacks that are going to be good coming out. A shitload. Caleb Williams, Drake May. Everybody knows this guy's name, Cameron Ward. Look for him. Washington State. College football this season is going to be bonkers. And I know Gio's in the chat. Gio, your Georgia Bulldogs can suck it. I don't think they're going to win the title this year. For whatever it's worth, college football this season, Joe, is going to be good. This is going to be a really, really good college football season. Longhorn faithful. I really think the Longhorns are going to do something this year. I'm a believer in that. Even though I'm not a true Longhorn fan, I'm a believer. You've got the SEC. It's going to be really good in the season in the SEC. You're going to have so many prospects this year to watch college football. It's going to be balls, man.
Everybody enjoys college football season. There's always good games to watch, good matchups, and I can't wait for it to finally start, because when it does start all day long, I have like, you've seen the studio. I have screens galore. So I'm watching several games at the same time, doing stuff, glancing up, looking at everything. I mean, it's a good time of year to not only have college football starting, you also have the MLB playoffs starting in October. Yeah. The start of the NFL season.
NBA season.
And then you have the NBA season, man. It's everything's back in balance again.
Yeah, the world is perfect.
The world is perfect. And the wives don't see us for a long time.
Oh, yeah. That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim Gonzalez, Drake May with the pukes. Come on, man. I'm a Tar Heel. The only school I ever applied to is North Carolina, and I framed my rejection letter because that's the only school I applied to. I'm a Tar Heel. I'm bleeding that baby blue. So, yeah, I get that. Longhorns, baby. Definitely. Hey, Texas.
Texas is back.
I don't know about Texas
no
is back completely.
Mamas, man. No
Texas
mamas.
is back completely, but they're on their way back. So
Yeah, they're on their way back to being bad again, dude.
No,
we'll see, man.
No, you know what? It's going to help them a lot when they get into the
This
SEC.
is the state of what's going on with the Longhorns right now.
SEC, that's it.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders are ranked a lot higher right now than the Longhorns are. Let that sink in, man. Texas Tech.
Dude. You gotta feed baby brother a crumb or two every now and then, man.
And look at Chris Leha. Puro pinche Red Raiders a la verga. He says guns
up. There you go. There you go. All right. See, Michael Crabtree, Patrick Mahomes, those guys put Raiders back in the league. We got 2 seconds left, Joe. Thank you guys, everybody. Rudy Campos Jr. for the MJ Acquired Taste podcast. Michael will be back soon.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys. Have a great weekend.
Love you guys.
We'll see you all on Monday. Peace.
Bye.